This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and it is Friday morning, April 17th. Welcome to my desk. Welcome to Fibdiggity. Hey, I have to tell you a secret. I have a secret. Don't tell. Well, you can tell. Tell everybody. I think Facebook is correct. Today is, drum roll, da-da-da-da-da-da, Arlene's birthday. I think it is. If Facebook is correct, it's sometime in here. So happy birthday to Arlene. Sweet, sweet Arlene. She helps out so many people. She is so helpful. And she's one of my main mods here. Happy birthday to Arlene. Happy birthday. All right. So today I have not been going live I've been very inconsistent lately. And hi, Vanessa. Welcome in, lady. Hi, Teresa. Welcome in. I've been very busy out in the yard. Oh, my goodness, that garden's taken a lot of work. We are actually going to have some cooler weather. Hi, Dee Dee. Welcome in. I don't know if Arlene will be in here this morning. She might pop in. If today is her birthday, she may have special plans. I know that she's facing some health issues, so I don't know if how she's feeling health-wise. We certainly wish her a happy birthday. Thank you, guys. If you see her online, wish her a happy birthday. And welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Let me get over here to my notepad and get signed on so I can watch everybody coming in. Actually, let me go back here. When you see this on my phone, that is a piece that I tatted when I was learning how to needle tat. This is several weeks old. I've got it, several months old. I've got it around here someplace. I need to get it in my journal. It's one of the first big pieces that I completed. Big meaning larger than just a couple rings. So let me get online here. I have to have a password to get into my phone. And of course, I never type it right. Hold on. I hope you all had a good week. They're saying that in our area this weekend to expect some really cold weather. It's going to have a cool snap. So I have not planted any plants yet. Let me get to YouTube so I can actually see you guys. Where's my YouTube? And of course, I'm in another channel, in my news channel. I call one of my channels my news channel. So let me get over to the Meri Atelier. And here we are. Maybe I should turn the sound down. And now storms are coming. I think the bad storms are going to be east of us, but we're going to get a cold snap. Let me, oh, there we are. Now it always takes a while for that chat to come up. Skip the ad. I don't know why the chat refuses to come up right away. I usually have to do it a couple times. There we are. Hi, Jacqueline. Welcome in, my lady. I did see your post where you said you're not selling tonight. Jacqueline sells, and she sells dyed papers and dyed ephemera, dyed fabrics, and does an excellent job. She usually sells on Fridays but she's taking today off. Lovely's Crafting Lodge. Yep. You just have a family event tonight. You can't do both. Don't you wish that, well, I don't know if, I used to wish I could be in several places at once, but the older I get, the more I realize that would really tire me out. I get tired the way it is. I've been working in the garden. You should see, I did not clean up the garden last fall. I said I'll leave it for spring and it will be dried out. And it was dried out, but we've already taken one pickup load of branches and sacks of garden waste, more yard waste than garden waste. And then I got out there, and when you have both butternut squash and watermelon, it vines out all over the place. And so when I rake that up, it's a mile high. And the sweet corn. And I cleaned out my raised bed, which I need more dirt for. And we went to town yesterday. I had an appointment, and we went to town yesterday, and I was going to buy more dirt, but I went to the bank. I needed to get some banking done. And when I got in the bank, I know I checked my billfold to make sure I had both my driver's license and my debit card. I usually keep them in one slot together. And I know I checked it before I went into the bank. I got in the bank and my debit card was no longer there. I don't know what happened to it. I had to cancel the card, and I looked all over for it. I walked back out to the car, and I looked all over in my purse, and I looked in it just disappeared. I think it fell out of my billfold on the way into the bank, and I think somebody might have picked it up, because I didn't discover it until I had quite a wait to get up to the line, and I didn't discover it was missing until I got to the line. So I right away canceled it, and she let me with 2 forms of ID. They know me pretty well because I've been going in there almost every month. They know me by name. They say, "Hello, Meridel," every time I walk in. And she let me with 2 forms of ID, which I happen to have on me. And she let me withdraw some cash so I could do a little shopping, but I couldn't buy my garden dirt. You know, garden dirt is pretty expensive. And last year we had a raised bed, but that kind of has sunk down a little. It was the first year for a raised bed, and it needs a couple layers of dirt, and I couldn't buy it. So I right away canceled my bank card because, I was afraid somebody picked it up. And I think that's probably what happened. It's just not around here at all. And I haven't used that card for a couple weeks. I made a charge against it a couple days ago on paying bills online. But now I have to wait 7 days before I can get my dirt because I have to wait for my bank card. So that was fun. And the thing of it was, the teller did not help me get the new bank card. She had me go talk to a teller. And he set it all up for me, and he went off and he got a paper printed to say what we did today and everything. And he handed me the paper, and I said thank you, and I walked out and I got to my car, and I was checking all my things, and I discovered I no longer had my driver's license or my other ID. And he still had it at his desk. So he didn't hand it back to me. So that's kind of how things get lost too. I don't know if that's what happened to my other thought is the bank card fell out and somebody tried to use it. Picked it up and is going to try to use it. But they would have to know my PIN number and everything. I might change my PIN number. Of course, they wouldn't know my new bank card number. But yeah, that was fun. So I was able to get a few things yesterday. I was looking for some more petunia seed because, let me get out here to chat. I was looking for more petunia seed. My little baby marigolds are starting to come up. If a crafter found it, you may get it back with paint on it. That's funny, Teresa. She loves to use them to scrape paint. Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting it back with paint on it, but I doubt that that's what happened. You know, when I was younger and I was traveling, I lived in Indianapolis, and I would drive over to St. Louis to have a stitching weekend with my friends over there. And I stopped midway to get gas and kind of rest, and I did that, but I was in my car and I noticed a group of young kids, and they found the bank car. I was in my car just just kind of taking a break, and these kids found a card on the sidewalk. And instead of turning it in, they were arguing about who was going to get to spend the money. I just said, I just know that's what happened. Let's see, did I miss anything? I think I said hello to everybody. Angela's here. She's happy to be with you all today. Happy birthday to Arlene. I don't think Arlene will pop in today. If she does, it'll be very briefly. So anyway, so I had to run back into the bank again, and it's kind of funny because all of a sudden they understood how how this old lady loses track of her cards. I'm wearing an old t-shirt that I got up in Madison when I worked for a company, and I don't like the logo, so I turn it inside out. I don't like the logo, but it's got paint on it. I wear it around here. It's clean. I washed it. So what are you going to do to mail me? You know what I'm going to do? And I'm glad Dee Dee is here. Let's put Penelope up on her throne. This I just happen to have out on my desk. I need to bind this, but I'm not going to do that here. I want to work in my Dee Dee has inspired my paste-to-page journal. I call it my paste-to-page journal. I don't think Dee Dee calls it her paste-to-page journal, but I decided what I was going to do in here. Dee Dee pastes scraps. Now, some of these are full page. She pastes scraps in here, and then she'll go back and do artwork. Well, that's what I'm going to do. I have here somewhere this drawing that I did a few weeks ago, a few streams ago, and I think that I am going to put, I might cut this down a little. I don't know if I want to or not. Maybe put it on a page that doesn't have much. Maybe even the first one. But I think in here, what I'm going to do is do more drawings. And it may be of people, it may be of animals. I'm looking for a good page where I want to put this little boy. As a young boy. And then I'm going to, this is a lot larger. I might work smaller on some of the future ones. Let's tear this in half. I have another thing I want to do today that's kind of new for me. And I'm not going to tell you what it is till I get there. I'm going to have some fun today. I'm ready for some fun. But I think we're going to have a cold snap. I was watching Ryan Hall, y'all. And I think it's going to be Saturday and Sunday, which is tomorrow. So I might be able to get out there yet. This one might be the best one, but I'm covering up those beautiful leaves. Maybe I'll put it down and put something down over it. These are some journal pages that I did. I don't want those. Let me just find a page to put this on. I don't want to. So I've been working in my putting scraps and pictures out of magazines that are these large ones that are really too lovely to cut up. I'm looking for a good spot. I might have to put him down and put scraps around him. I could fussy cut him. I think that's what I'll do. And then I'll put my little note. Let's fussy cut him out. There's nothing saying that you can't play with your sketchy sketches. Now I did this with this R2 rollerball pen. I like to use these because I can get tonal values. Yeah, Dee Dee pastes things down and then she does art around it. And I call this, I call it my paste-to-page journal. I haven't done this. So Dee Dee inspired me. She did that probably several weeks ago now because I've been working on this. But I thought I would start out with this. I have some other things I want to show you. I was talking about the garden too. So I cleaned up all the waste matter, all the butternut squash, leftovers, even the morning glory, and corn, watermelon, vine, and I still have some more to clean up. I cleaned up where my marigolds were last year. I'm debating, I was thinking I bought some flax seed, and I want to get a flax, that PHYLOX, I believe, phlox, creeping phlox, and you plant it and it creeps. And I thought I would plant that where I had my marigolds last year. And when my brother moved here, they had it out there on the corner underneath of the walnut tree. Now I might find a better place to put him. I kind of like that, a mysterious force. Let's see. Let's go back to the front. I kind of like that. And now what I think I'm going to do, let's go ahead and put this down. I think this paper is too stiff. Well, it might go down with a glue stick. So, and this is a digger. I guess we can dig it to find maybe a end of a paintbrush. I have bought some gladiolas, and I still have, I want to move some vine that he has out to the corner too. I don't know how good this glue is anymore. We'll see. So that's some things I can get done. And then it's supposed to be really nice Monday. And I plant these, I have a gladiolus. And have any of you ever, don't forget the thumbs up. Thank you, Vanessa. Hi, Light Star. You miss being able to plant flowers? Well, here's what you do. Get you an indoor plant, or just a little one, or just get a paper cup and put some dirt in it and put a marigold in it, and it's so fun to watch the baby sprouts. And then you can transplant it into a well, I don't know about marigolds being a house plant, but get something for a house plant. I know what you mean because I've been there, Light Star. I've been there. When I lived with my parents, when I was younger, I'm going to throw that. Well, I think I'm going to keep the cap. I've learned that I tend to lose caps. So I'm going to throw the rest of it away. When I lived with my parents, my dad and mom owned their house down by the river, down by the little blue river. And they had plenty of space to garden. And my mom, she loved petunias. She'd always get these double petunias. And my brother, my younger brother, was really kind of nice when he was younger. And he planted all these daylilies for my mother. It was really kind of nice down there. Not beautiful home, but it was an old country home, but still it was nice. And the area was nice, the river area. I kind of missed that. But now my brother, when I lived in apartments, you know, I couldn't have flowers either, and I did miss it a lot. And townhouses. When I lived in a townhouse in Sun Prairie, where I lived in Madison when I first went up there, and they had kind of a little garden, and I was able to, but the garden area where they put plants was not very, it had a lot of stone, and it wasn't very conducive to plants, to tell you the truth. And I'm just using this glue that I dug out of that glue stick here. I want to get it around this area here. And now let's just smear it on here. So I get it. But now my brother, he bought that new lawnmower because it was on sale. And I asked him what he was going to do the other one, and he said he's going to fiddle around with it. And he fiddled around with it, and he got it running. He said, now I don't know what I'm going to do with 2 lawnmowers. And he said, I guess I could mow part, and you could mow part. And I'm sitting there going, He doesn't like to walk a lot. His feet hurt him. So I get it. But I said, well, if you could mow the easy parts where it's just flat, and I could mow around all the trees and the, you know, where it's harder to mow. But getting him to do it is another story. Getting him to do it. He tries. I can't complain too much about him. But I was going to buy his lunch yesterday. I told him I'd buy his lunch when we went up there. And he ended up buying mine. Where's that towel? He ended up buying mine. I guess my towel blew away. That's not a towel, that's a paper. Let me get a paper towel. We went to Freddy's. So I told him the next time we came up that I'd buy his lunch when I got my card. Let's see. I guess that's glued down pretty good. I can kind of lift it up. Let's. Glue the edges here. I didn't get the edges too good. So what I'm going to do in this book, I'm going to do more drawings. I thought maybe I'd do some animals. And we are going to, and then what I want to do, and let's take this paper, which might just be perfect, and put it right here. This is just a paper, this is a scrap paper. And what I want to do, let's see. Now, I think I'll just, how do I want to do that? I guess I'll do it a little, I should have probably done this first, but I already have my scraps in there. I'll have to do this a little at a time. How do I want to do that? I guess put it here. And I don't care if the paint kind of goes over that. May not be straight. I don't do this very often, so I want this edge. And I'm going to be painting over my edge here, but I don't mind that for this. I'm just playing. Okay, we're going to do this edge here, and this should really come up. Well, let me take this off again. And put it up further. And it probably won't be the same width around. And I might have to touch it up. And we're going to do this side. I guess I could do the top too. No, I think I'll move it. No. Yeah, I think I'll move it down a little. So, I could use a paint marker, or I could get out my acrylic. Let's see what I have here. How about a dark blue? English Navy. It's not much left in that one. Get one where I don't have to fool around with it. That's cobalt blue. There we go. And I'm only going to do one page here. I'm just going to play. And I happen to have a brush out here, but that's not the brush I want. Those are more for drawing. Let's get a wider brush. Hold on. My brushes, I did wash them. Here, let's do this brush. It'll work. Shake this up. Shaky, shaky. Peeling all the pee off of here before I knock her off. Keep the tape out. I'm just about ready to build my shelf on my computer desk, so I can put the papers, all my papers up there. And I think I'm going to work out of the cap if I can. And we're just going to paint this. Now, sometimes I don't do this perfectly. I'm not an expert at it, doing the pretty edge that people do, painters, artists do. So, what have you all been up to? Did Arlene pop in? Let's see. Vanessa says, I used to be able to garden. I miss it so much. I can't kneel to plant anything. I can't even sit or stand long enough to make a garden anymore. Well, I sympathize. I think I have a mild case of neuropathy. I've been taking care of it. I do my exercises. I'm taking an off the counter. It's got a lot of turmeric in it. Looks like I'm getting some white in there. And I take care of it, but it still looks like I got some white or something in there. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe that's glue. I think I'll let it dry a little. So I sympathize. And I would tell you the same thing I told Lightstar. Do something in the house. Even one little, maybe even a plant you don't have to take very much care of. You know, a house plant, a philodendron or something like that. And you can still enjoy the plant life without having a whole big garden. I have to tell you, my brother is kind of slowed down on his gardening, mostly because, you know, he gardened to eat. He gardened for his family, you know. He liked to plant green beans, and when they were still married, my sister-in-law loved green beans, and he'd plant green beans, and we still have that peony patch that out here that I don't know if he put that in or if that was here when they moved here. I'll have to ask him. But he's slowed down. He likes his tomatoes. He likes to plant tomatoes. He likes his cucumber and zucchini. He handles that pretty good. But he likes watermelon too, now that I kind of sort of begged for a watermelon plant. I said, oh, let's just try it. And that was a couple years ago. And it did really well out there. And so we planted another one last year. And that did well. Now he wants to put one where he said I could put my flowers. I fought him on it. I said, but I was going to put flowers there. Okay, I'm going to I think I'll dry this and pull the tape and then do the other side. And I'll probably have some unevenness underneath of this tape because I'm not a total expert at this. And so let's put my brush in the water and put my cap on. I wasn't going to come on this morning. I was just going to take the entire week off. But I was going to get some petunia yesterday, and Walmart did not have any petunia seed, which I found was very strange. No petunia seed. Menards has them. I didn't realize when I transplanted here, when I planted my little seedlings on, and they're doing well. My marigolds are popping up. But I did not realize the petunia seeds were so small. And so I wanted to get some more because I'm going to have to, I put a lot of them in one bucket. And that's not going to work. I'm looking for my plug in here. It's straight off. Where did it go off to? Oh, I put it up there. So I couldn't find any petunia seeds, so I bought another hydrangea plant. And my brother, down at the bottom of our front porch there, he has all those hostas. But the violets are creeping in there, and he hates those violets. He said he was going to pull them out, and I said, okay, I'm going to put my hydrangea in there. He said, okay. So that's where I'm going to put it. I have a hydrangea that Becky sent me a couple years ago. It should bloom this year. It blooms every other year, I think, hydrangeas. They take a while to catch on, and then they bloom every other year. Now, if you remember Roy, I haven't seen him online for a long time, but he did a garden walk one year, and they had beautiful hydrangeas, big bushy ones. I don't think mine are going to get that bushy. So I have a few things I want to do. I don't know about planting the gladiolas. I don't know about planting them today. If it gets cold, I think I'll just wait till next week to plant them. But I need to finish raking and cleaning up the garden, getting it ready. Our last frost date is in May 4th or 6th, so I'm kind of ahead of the game this year. Oh, let's pull this up. Oh yeah, and it kind of stuck to him here. I had some glue on him. This did better than I thought it would. Oh, yeah, I didn't come up high enough. Do I want to fill that in? I'm debating. I might put a strip here. I might fill this in with a piece of cut paper. And then what am I going to do here? Maybe some tissue paper across here. I need to glue this down a bit more. Yeah, I think I'll get some, I could do napkin, but I think in my bag over there, I think I have some pattern paper. And I think I'll fill pattern paper in around here and then do the blue again. So let's see what I have. Oh, you guys, I just find scraps and scraps and more scraps. I had this big old package of it out by my recliner. I'll never get this bag. This was the bag I was working from. I said, I'm going to empty it. It just keeps getting more full. Let's see, I do have some napkins. I see something brown here. Oh, well, that is an edge. No, I don't. I think I'll save those for something else. I want to go to that pattern paper, if I can find it. I could go to here. Here we go, right here. I could go to some brown paper too, but ooh, I do kind of like that. I got a bunch of brown paper. All right, let's stop here. I don't want to get all of this out right now. Let's see what I have here. Let's get a piece of... Light Star says, Mary, that's one of the things I learned from my grandmother was to save things and be frugal. And typically it's true. When you save it, you find a use for it later. Isn't that the truth? But I have been resisting going to book sales. There was a book sale on April 11th that I really wanted to go to. But I have books upstairs that I took for upstairs that I've got at other sales that I really need to use before I go buying more. I like these lines. I kind of like those lines in there. So let's just snip Let's snip the lines off of this. And I kind of like it. Let's see, here, this is curved over here. Let's pull this whole thing out. Looks like somebody has used this pattern and they taped it together here. They taped it in here. Becky traces her patterns out. And was it Becky? Yeah, I think it was, said that it's going to get harder and harder to find patterns anymore, paper patterns. They taped this thing together. I found that very interesting. I suppose because there's a lot of online, yeah, I can just use this. And you know what, though, I think it might be nice to put some scribble in there. No, let's cut this first. I'm just going to tear this. And I don't do much sewing, so I'm not up with everything that happens in the sewing world. I do a lot of slow stitch. I kind of want to get as close to that black line as possible. Here we are being real careful with our scrap. All right, I'll come back to that pattern piece. Let's put this down. And I think I'll paint the edge here again. But let me fill in all these spaces. Did that get folded? All right. See if I can't glue this down. Yeah, I've been trying to be good, and at least until I get my garden all planted to my liking, because I want petunias and hanging baskets. I like to put hanging baskets out on our shepherd's hook on the front porch. I'm trying to plant petunias, but I've never done that before, and those seeds are so tiny. All right, I want this, and I might redo this edge here. That's not gonna be perfect, but almost perfect. Let's put some more glue on this. That's my paint, not my glue. And I was looking at what Walmart did have was a nice selection of herb seeds. And I want to plant some rosemary. I want lemon balm. I'm going to do some dill, but we don't do too much with dill. I did make some of my own pickles one year, dill pickles. My brother doesn't like dill pickles. All right, let's see what I can do over here with that curved piece. Where was that? In here. Let me just tear this in half because I'm just going to use this for my journaling anyway. This was a nice pattern. I bought it because when I buy patterns, I look for either long dresses or pants outfits, something that has a lot of width and everything to it, so that I get a good selection of. Now this has been cut here. It looks like it ends right there. And then it looks like it's doubled up here. So let me tear this part off. There's probably another curved area. Whoever used this pattern taped it together in weird ways. But I don't care. It's gonna be. So I'm thinking somehow in here. Of course, now this is going to get painted, this edge. Maybe this way. Like this, and then the edge will get painted in here, and then so let's take it here. That in my lap. Put this down. I want his curls to show. And I've glued that down pretty good, I think, but I might be able to lift him up a little. I re-glued him down. Well, that's on there good, except for there. Got a crease there. It's tape, no? Yeah, there's... feels like there's something on there. Piece of tape or something there. It's smooth. It's interesting. I feel the difference. I feel patterned tissue paper down here, but here it feels like it's got a plastic coating right in there. See how stiff that is? It doesn't feel like tissue paper, but it doesn't, I don't see tape on it. Huh. I can feel it. All right, I kind of wanted, let me get my pen, maybe get under it with my pen and lift up on it. I glued it down good. I didn't want it to lift up again. That's glued down really good. I put extra tape on it, glue on it. Kind of want his curls to show. what they did here. Oh, it goes like that. Put little DNA on it. I can just get it in there. Might be kind of hard to manipulate. Let's do it a little at a time. It's my glue stick. Yeah, I like that. Now I'm going to have to kind of this is tissue paper, so you can crease it a little. I want it to come around his head, like that. Maybe rip it a little there to give it a space. I like that. Now I'll have a blue in there. I kind of like how it repeats the shape of his head. Maybe push this up a little. When I work on it, I think my book floats down on me. All right, so I'm just going to glue these down. Pen Plus Gear glue. I was going to get some more yesterday, and I picked up a magazine at Walmart. I'll tell you, I don't understand what they're doing to the magazines. I can't get the Mary Jane magazine, and I can't get the Victorian magazine there anymore. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. I'll redo this. Maybe I'll put this. No. I need something right in there. Let's put this here. I don't know. I think they're still being published. And they have all these puzzle books and gun magazines. I was complaining to my brother. I said, I'd very rarely see a man standing at that magazine stand reading the gun magazines. Maybe that's because that's what they're offering to the store, but it's not entirely down. I'm just going to let that flip over. Might stick a little on there while I'm working, but okay, let's tear that a little. That's where that plasticky deal is. All right, I'm happy with that. Now this is going to be blue. I'm going to put some more blue down here to kind of, and I'm going to fix this. And there's going to be blue up here, but I need an area. Just, I think I'll make another line just right in here. Maybe this thin piece. Ooh, I love that. I'm going to save that for something else. And then I bought some impatient seed, and I bought 4 packages of other seed. I forget what else I got. I wish I could get him up a little. Oh, I can. Oh, good. We're going to put this under here. So sometimes if you don't get it all glued good, it's to your advantage. I'll have to fix this area up here, but let's bring it down. Oh, I wanted that down just a little bit more. No. Well, all right, stop there and I'll put this in here. Maybe, no. It'll go just a little crooked there. That got a little space right there, but I'll fill that in with something. She's talking to herself. Let me get this done and then I'll come out. This paper is kind of too strong for a glue stick. This is that strong cardstock that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's a little bit too strong for a card, for a... Now, if I would have planned this out better, I would have put all of that down first. But I'm going to paint my pages. Get this out of my way. Do I want to fold this over? Oh, let's do that. Yeah. Now I'm going to paint here. I'm going to clean this up. And I'm going to paint up at the top. So let's see how that goes. All right, I have some scrap here to fold up. And I'm not going to, well, I could put it back in the package. But I think I'll just put it in my envelope. I think I'm going to save this for my I'm not going to do any more pages in here today, but these will work for new pages. All right, let's put these back in my envelope. Yeah. My sack of scraps. Oh, I got the big pattern here to fold up. This big guy. This must have been the pants leg. Oh, she taped it together. Whoever had this taped this pattern in the weirdest spots. I'm going to snip that. Probably like Meri, not an experienced sewer. They never used the pattern again. It got given to the thrift store. I got this at the thrift store, I think. It might have been one that Rebecca threw in. I don't know. I haven't been to Rebecca's cell for all month. I've been taking a break till I get my new printer, get my garden stuff. I still have another pattern piece to fold up here. Hold on, I'm doing it offline. And then I'll come out and look at chat. It's the weekend. It's the start of the weekend. Woohoo! So there's where we are on him. And I'm going to take this and we're going to clean this edge up. Let's place it there. All right, let me come look at chat. Let me refresh chat. I want to talk to you guys. You're so nice to come in and spend time with me. Let me refresh it. So I'm sure, well, I'm all messages. Lightstar says, I'm surprised you can find patterns at the thrift store right now because they don't take things like that where I'm at. Really? Well, I might have gotten this one from Rebecca. What do they take? Just clothes and that type of stuff? Or I'm surprised they don't take patterns. They may not be tuned into the crafty people. Don't we all talk to ourselves and out loud at times when we're by ourselves and we have no one to talk to? I talk to myself quite a bit, and sometimes my brother thinks I'm talking to him, and I'll say, nope, I was just muttering. I was just muttering to myself. He's hard of hearing, so I have to look at him. He doesn't like wearing his hearing aids around the house. I guess they're uncomfortable for him. And I have to look at him when I talk to him. I would probably begin doing exactly what you are doing, Meri. I not lost my place to live. Oh, had I not lost my place to live? Well, you know what? You hang in there, Lightstar. Let me tell you from experience. If I did not have my brother, I would be homeless. And I've said that ever since I came down here. When I lived up in Madison, I was working on contract. I was a contract programmer. And it came to a point there where it was, well, it was my age too, I think. But I was not getting rehired. And the jobs were scarce. And I lived off of my savings until it ran out. I lived off there was a point in 2008, 2007 up there where the economy was bad. I don't know if you guys remember. And they were giving, the government was giving, help. to everybody. If you qualified, if you had to prove you were out looking for a job. But I went through that until I reached the limit there, and I went all through unemployment until I exhausted my savings. I had 83 cents to my name. 83 cents to my name. And I came down. My brother lost his significant other. They'd lived together for like 20 some years, and she died of cancer. And he lived alone down here in this house for about 3 years, I think. I don't know if it was quite that long, but he said, I got a big house with 3 bedrooms and I'm only using one. He said, why don't you just come down here? And Nebraska was not my choice to live because the jobs around here for programmers, even at that time, was very, 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 it's non-existent, especially if you're a legacy programmer. And so I came down here, and I will say I identify because I know what it's like. It's scary to have 83 cents to your name and not knowing how you're going to pay your rent, how you're going to buy groceries, who's going to take care of the bills that are coming in. It is scary. And if I would not have had my brother to come down here, he's given me a roof over my head, and I truly, truly appreciate it. So I identify with what you're saying, and you miss all that stuff. You miss the having your art journals. You miss, of course, I was able, when I moved down here, I had 6 boxes that I brought with me of art. 6 boxes of art. Now I'm overflowing because I go thrifting. I learned a lot. I watch Becky a lot. She and Scott go thrifting, and they come home with the neatest things. And I don't, well, not a lot of my things like paint and glue. I get those, but like the patterns, papers, and things like that. So I kind of got reestablished down here. But my heart goes out to people who are fighting rough times, because I've been there. But let me tell you this, if anybody, not just the people in here, but if you're listening to the replay and if you're in a bad situation, just know that there's better days ahead. Hang in there, say your prayers, don't give up. Don't give up. That's my I don't want to say story or preaching. I don't mean that way, but don't give up, because it's not going to last forever. You never know what's around the corner. So, and I had a hard time coming back to Nebraska. At that time, I kept saying I'm grateful, but I'm not happy. It was hard for me to give up my career, because there's no career down here. However, I will say I had a laugh, because I've been retired ever since I came down here, I've been retired for 10 years. And yesterday, I did not take my information off of Indeed. And yesterday I got every now and then I'll get a recruiter sending me saying, you may qualify for this job. And I usually respond back, if they'll let me work from home. And that stops it right there. And, although working from home doesn't have the stigma that it used to, but I'd say I'd consider it if you'd let me work from home. That usually ends the conversation, because it just usually ends the conversation. But I used to, my last job, well, not the very last job, but my last full-time job, I worked on computer support for an insurance company. And that was a job. So hugs to everyone. Hi, Carol. Good morning, Miss Carol. It's good to see you. Dee Dee's still here. Let's see. I did not experience domestic abuse, so I don't know what that's like. But my heart goes out to anybody who has experienced that. It's not a good thing. So hopefully you're healing from that. And heal yourself. I am going to kind of preach here. Forgive. Don't forgive for them. Forgive for yourself. If they're no longer around, that's the good thing. But forgive for yourself, because I will speak about forgiveness. I've had to forgive I've had to be forgiven, but I have had to forgive too. And if you can do one layer, forgiveness is like an onion. You peel it off. The hurt never really goes away. Time helps, but the memories are still there. I know. The memories are still there. I was thinking the other day, I was thinking about some of the bad experiences in my life. And I go, why am I dwelling on this? It's been 10 or 15 years. Well, it's that inner core of that onion that it's not the hurt because you've peeled away the other layers, and the best way to do it is forgive them in your heart, forgive them in your mind. Just a simple statement like, it happened, it's over with. I forgive you, but I don't want to be around you. I don't want to I don't want to live that life anymore. So that part, I'm not trying to preach as an expert. I'm just talking about my own experiences. I've never had to forgive a domestic abuse, but I have had to forgive people being really nasty. Really, and I'm not talking about online. I'm talking about real live people in my life. And it has not been what my family's been good. My family's been really good to me, and it's been a big support. Like I say, if I didn't have my brother, I would have been homeless. Now that I've been down here, I'm a little bit more stable. I'm a little bit more secure financially. I don't have all the worries I had when I first moved down here. Yeah, Vanessa says, domestic violence is not fun. I've been there. I know how it is. So, just, I can't preach to that or talk. I don't mean preach. I can't talk to it because I've never experienced it. But my heart goes out to people who suffer that, who go through that. Now, my older sister, my older sister, when she was living with the family, many, many, many years ago, she was a beautiful lady. She was pretty. She was very popular. She, I couldn't hold a candle to her. She was smart. Of course, we were in a small school, but she was good at volleyball. She was the president of the pep club. She was valedictorian. She was everything that a younger sister looked up to. I always wanted to be like her. Well, she left home and she went and lived her own life. And when she got in touch with me when I lived in Madison. She finally found me and she called me and we kind of reconnected, which I'm really grateful that we did, because it wasn't long after that she passed away. But she told me some of the domestic abuse that she suffered. And it scared me. It scares me. So I no longer had contact with her after she left home. I saw her once after she left home. And I was going to the University of Nebraska, and I think I was a freshman then. And she was coming through town with a drummer. You know, you have to think the 1960s. And she was hooked up with this drummer, and he was going back to visit her family, his family, back east. And they stopped in Lincoln. I was going to the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, and she called me then and said, "Let's go have coffee. I'm going to be in Lincoln." And we went to this little cafe on O Street. I don't know. Lincoln has changed so much since I lived there when I was in college. But I got to see her one time, and we had conversations on the phone later in life, and then she passed away. She lived out in California and had those terrible, terrible forest fires at that time, and that smoke. She had really bad lungs, and she passed away of a respiratory disease, I think, some type of lung issue. So sad. So sad. But I always wanted to be like her. But now I look back on it, I'm grateful to be my not so smart, not so beautiful self. I'm just who I am, you know. And I've reconciled that, but my heart goes out to people who face domestic abuse. All right, let's look at some other things. Got me off on a story there. Did that get message automatically held for review, hidden by Angel Rose? Okay, there's something in there that... Did you hide that intentionally, Vanessa? If it was an accident, you can reset it, but if you did it intentionally, I'm going to trust I trust my mods, especially those of you who come in here and are really... You really know me and everything, you know. I trust your judgment. So, let's see. Mina was here. She said she has to go. I missed her completely. Mina, I missed you. She says, okay, I gotta go. Vanessa says she's not in a chatty mood today. She's working on a project. Vanessa, are you still in here? Didn't you have a computer down or something? Did you get all that resolved? I haven't been online for a while. Mina says they are comforting. Hugs to you, Light Star. All I can say is don't give up. Don't give up hope, because I can't tell you when, but eventually things will change. All right, YouTube hides things when there's words in the post that don't sound right. Okay. All right. YouTube does weird stuff sometimes. Thank you, Vanessa, for clarifying that. I don't know what happened to Roy. Dee Dee says, I wonder what happened to Roy. I don't know. All of a sudden, he just dropped out. I don't see him in any other chats. I hope that it's not a health issue or something like that. You never quite know when people just disappear. Sometimes they're off on doing something else. Roy liked to sew. He was an excellent quilter. He did really nice things. I have a quilt that I got at that sale for Janet Mom. I'm looking for, I guess, a paper towel got behind me here. My roll of paper towels. I want to put a paper towel. I don't know what happened to him. I know several weeks ago, Arlene messaged me and said, do you know where Roy is? No, I haven't seen him for a while. Now that we're talking about him, maybe he'll show up. Maybe his ears will be ringing. Sometimes that happens. We'll say, I haven't seen so-and-so for a long, long time. What did I do with that paint? That blue paint. I said it's not glue and I set it aside. What did I do with it? I'm getting ready to paint. Now I've got a brush out here. Let's get my brush out again. And the other paper towel. Well, I guess I'll use this one. But where's my paint? Here it is. It's about ready to fall off the table. I'm going to fix this and then I'm going to move my paper up here. I don't know what happened to Roy. Lightstar says her grandmother had some really beautiful moss flowers. I think that's what they were called. They kind of reminded me of ice plants. Oh, that's interesting. You mean moss rose? Little rose flowers. They're easy to maintain. I don't know if I ever grew any. I'm just going to dip my brush in. You're really not supposed to dip your brush into paint, but yeah, I'm so messy anyway that... All right. I'm going to put this up here. I'll put my pen over here before it falls off. Put my paint up here. Now let's hit that with the... No. I put that heat gun back in the barrel. I did. So I don't think I'm going to plant anything out in the garden till after, and of course it came unplugged, until after, at least until after Monday, and then I'll probably plant my gladiolas, because they're bulbs, but if it's going to have a cold snap, I'm reaching for the plug-in here. If it were going to have a cold snap, I think I'll just wait to plant them. I know our last frost date is like May 4th or May 6th, up around in there. And it's not quite May yet, it's only April 17th. So we can still have cold weather. It's so sad because we had that really nice weather in February and the plants and the fruit trees and all of that thought that spring was here. And Ryan Hall said, it's a false spring, you guys. Don't get too excited. Yeah, I need to glue. I need to take care of this. But let's put this here. We're going to paint this out down below. I'll move my phone out of the way here. Let's take one more look at chat. You hold your head up high. You got this. I stand behind you. Angel says, yeah. She said, I didn't hide anything. Well, it said it was hidden by you. It says, Angel Rose Designs. Hidden by Angel Rose Designs up here. Message automatically held for review. Hidden by Angel. So did you try to show something and it got hidden? View deleted message. Can I view it? It was by Lightstar. I can't. You'd have to restore it, but that's okay. Well, the ads get in the way. You probably hit an ad about the time you were. Men will ask each other for help, Light Star says, but women are scared because men are the ones who are aggressors and attack women. Yeah, that was the message that got hidden. Hi, Karen. Welcome in, Miss Karen K. It's good to see you. You probably didn't do that intentionally. It happens, Vanessa. Sometimes it happens to me a lot. You just ask Mina. And I think I've even hidden you before. Cindy Rain Girl. Somehow I blocked her. I don't, or somebody blocked her, but I think it was probably me. And I had the worst time unblocking her. And I tried and tried and tried. And she said, Meri, I'm blocked. I don't see her. I haven't seen her in a long time either. People, they have things to do in their life, you know, people move on. I miss them. I miss them. We miss you if you haven't been here for a while. No, you're missed. But I understand. I totally understand because I have a hard time getting out to all the streams. I want to, but I just don't. I don't do it like I used to. Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Vanessa. It's okay. I think what probably happened is you were maybe trying to show it, and sometimes those ads just pop up, or scroll happens, and I'll be wanting to do something, and it'll scroll at the same time that I hit the whatever I want to do, and I'll put somebody in timeout, or I'll block them, or it happens. It's happened to several people, and it's all right. Don't even worry about it. Well, Lightstar, just know that it was an accident. Vanessa didn't even realize it happened. Yeah. It's a touchy subject for some people. It's a touchy subject, period. But you know, there are people that have a hard time dealing with things like that, and so you know, you just kind of have to go with the flow of whatever stream you're in. But just know that here, you are free to express that as long as you're doing it politely. And I haven't seen you say anything abusive about any other people. We know abuse happens. That is a given. Abuse happens. We know that it happens, so, and it doesn't surprise me that it has happened to people in our community. And just know, I can't support you other than verbally, and in my heart and in my prayers, I can support you that way. But just know that if you need to express it, as long as you do it in a polite way, and don't worry about talking about it. I need to move this down just a little bit more. You're free to say what you've said. I haven't seen you say anything that upsets me. And when I do, if it ever does, I'll let you know. I mean, if you came in here and said a lot of foul-mouthed stuff, I would probably, but saying I've experienced domestic abuse is not foul-mouthed. And talking about it existing is not in violation of my policies, because I know it exists. I think my older sister experienced it. I haven't experienced it. I'm not pretty enough to be abused. So, I'm not that attractive to men. Thank God. That's one advantage of not When I was growing up, I always wanted to be like my sister. I always wanted to be, she was, you know, little sister, big sister thing. I idolized her. She was who I wanted to be like. And she knew it. But in our family, it was always she was the bad girl and I was the good girl. Well, I wasn't always the good girl. And she wasn't always the bad girl. All right. Let's hit that with the heat gun. But I have experienced things in my life that I've had to forgive. And I have had to be forgiven for stuff too. So you kind of have to work that out. I still see some white in there. I still see some white. Now this, I didn't tape off these edges because I just put scrap paper down, but I kind of want this framed. I might spend some time doing some framing before I put down any more pictures, but not today. But I think I'm going to do pictures, and not just pictures of people. I think I'll do some animal drawings, and I'm going to do drawings over my scraps in this book, I think. This is turning out better than, whoops, it might be kind of scary there. That's where that, yeah, it's not too bad. That's where that plastic was. I think they taped that tissue paper down. All right, now we're going to do I'm going to give that a dry. Not bad. I have more room over here than I do over here. He kind of looks off. I might move this over just a tad bit more over here. Is that crooked? Let me see how it looks a little crooked to me. I think I'll do it right in there. It won't be completely centered yet, but, and I'll have more blue. Do I want to do that, or do I just want to leave it? I think I'll straighten it out. I don't think it's completely straight. What did I do with that brush? Attraction has nothing done with being abused, because some of them want to do it just as power over a woman. Yeah. I suppose that's the truth. I always felt I was too ugly to be of concern to men. I was not a popular person when I grew up. I accept myself now, but I was really quiet and I didn't get many dates. I had dates later on, but nothing that really... I accepted it. It is what it is. So I'm going to bring this up a little. Let's move my towel over. So now I'm just a old maid, a happy one. I don't have the issues of divorce and abuse and all of that. I have other issues. But Light Star, just know that there are better days ahead. You may not see them, you may not think they're possible, but they are. That I can attest to in my own life. And anybody out there, not just Star, anybody out there who's going through any type of hard time, any type of a hard time that you're going through, it may not be abuse, it may be a health situation, it may be a family, it may be financial, whatever it is. And I want to say, if you're a person of faith, keep praying. I don't want to preach to you, but I know prayer for me has worked, and it's a deep part of my life now. I don't want to come across preaching to people because, oh, this is getting kind of sloppy up above, but we're going to leave it. It's kind of sloppy in there, but it's because my tape is getting old. I think I'm going to call this done. I got more space over here. I could put a white line here. That would help. I might do that. I see some white in there. Let's take my... Well, now that I moved my... I think there's some white in there. That... Where did I see that? All right. I'm going to call it done. It is what it is. I'll doing it. I'll get better at it as I work. I like this. I like what I've done. I don't like all the space on this side. I could put a line down here. If I put a line right down here, maybe a white line, or even like a gray line, what it'll do, it'll push this side of the blue off that way, and it'll thin this border out. I think I'll do that before I leave here. And it'll make the picture look more centered. I don't know if I can get to my white pins. Let me take care of this heat gun. I'm going to get one of those push button LED lights and put down here on my, close to my floor down here, because it's dark down there. You know, I put my, I'm going to call it done. It's not perfect, but you can still see my writing there. Photo reference, I covered up the date, 4/10. Let me write that. Or 10, 20. 26. Kind of messy, but it's just an art journal. All right, let's see if I can find a white pen. I think, oh, here, there, I can see them here. Hold it. These panda flies, panda fly pens are good pens. I got a couple packages of them. I like them better than the, what, the Signal? Is that what they're called? They're a good pen. They're good to have around. I'm getting some of this stuff off of my, what time is it? 7:44. Let me grab one of these. This might be a newer package. I don't know if I've used out of this. No, I think I have. So you guys got plans for the weekend? Hi, Elise. Welcome in. Yeah, that's true, Light Star. Sometimes you have to be reminded of things you don't want to happen again. That's what I was saying about forgiveness. You forgive it, but you don't want to be in that situation anymore. Let's turn this book this way. And I want to put a white mark down here, I think. And let's see how this flies. I think it's better if you don't go like this, if you just do one straight line. And if you want to repeat it, kind of let it dry. Because if you go like this, it kind of scratches through what you've already done. But look how that white ink just flows out of this pen. First time. And I haven't had these stop up on me yet. Yeah, I think I like that. It's kind of a crooked line. I got too much space down here. That's okay. We're going to do another line here. Another crooked line, Meri? I might. My ruler, kind of, maybe if I did paint come out of there, it did. Oh, let's paint this. Whoops. Got a scrap. You can't see up here. I tipped my bottle of paint over up it. Oh, you can kind of see. And it flew out on my desk, but I'll just paint my desk with my finger. Oh, a lot of it fell out. But I got scraps on there. That's why my bottles of paint get empty. Let me pull this bead mat up. Well, I got a painty finger now. It's a sticky bead map. I want to push some of this paint over here. And I spilled my paint. I'm painting over my spots of white paint on the mat up above. Got another scrap in here. I'll have a blue finger. Boy, a lot of it spilled out, let me tell you. Another scrap. I'm finger painting with my index finger up above. It's better than letting it puddle. And it's got on my... It's a mess. I bet I spilled probably a fourth of that bottle. It's not that mess. At least it didn't go on my rug. My brother's rug, I'm trying to be so careful to keep it nice. Okay. Let me just kind of blot off some of that. And I'll let it dry naturally. Throw that away. Now, I'm just going to leave that mat. Let's see, I need another paper towel. Hold on, I'm cleaning up my mess. Let's get any on my glass top here. Just a little. Not too much. Meri, put the cap back on. I didn't put the cap on, that's what happens. All right, we're going to call that done. I'm happy with him. I'm going to leave my bead map. I'm going to fold this way, let it dry. And then I'll take that bead map off of here after this is all dry. Put this on the other side. Take adventure to new limits. To new heights. Let's put that on there. Meri's not done. I'm going to cut this. This was just sitting on my desk. I'm going to put it. My page-to-page book is going to be an adventure in new heights. Take adventure to new heights. We're going to put it right here. And since I was yakking the other day about my plans for, we did that stream, you guys. I want to thank you, those of you in here who participated in the building list. I think I did that last Friday night. The buildings in Fib Diggity. I so enjoyed that chat, you guys. I appreciate you. And it was really a fun list to do. We should do more of those lists. Whoops, better put it right side up. Take adventure to new heights. I'm gonna put it right there. And I'll probably have to come in and glue it. Now, after I'm sure this is all dry, I think I'll do what Dee Dee does and varnish my page. I don't know if she would varnish anything like this, but I'm going to. So let me put this aside and clean my hands. And I'll show you what I'm going to do next here. Let me put this aside. And hopefully I can find my... Did I put it back up above? I did. Let me clean my hands here because they're dirty. They're painty. I finger painted. And then I'll come out and look at chat. And then we'll move on to something else. I'm going to have to... I have some more of this. I keep refilling that jug. I'll have to put some more in here. Hand sanitizer. I painted with this finger. And when I garden, my fingers get filthy dirty. I wear gloves, but you know, when you garden, sometimes you have to take your gloves off. Get your hands in the dirt. What did you watch this morning? I watched Meri make a mess and then clean her hands. All right, let's clean the tabletop. It did not get too bad. Maybe, no, that's clean up there. All right. Cap to my glue stick. Scissors, put the cap back on the white ink pen. Ink pens. I have paintbrushes out here when I was drawing. I put the one I was using today in the water. These scraps are going to get thrown away. Let me grab these. Not the pencil. I'll put it back there. Put the paintbrushes away, put my pens in. I haven't seen Angie. Where's that Angie girl? Haven't seen her for a while. I got her bowls that she made over here. I keep all my pens in. But well, they're full and my pens keep falling out. All right. I think I'm ready to move on here. Let me put this in the trash. I need to bring me another little jar in. I'll put them in this jar for now. My paintbrushes. All right. What I want to do next is, where's that pattern paper? We'll use that pattern paper. We'll use the paper part if I have it. I do. What I want to do next, these I think came with, these gloves came either with, I bought my brother a new drill. I also bought, no, I guess it was, oh, I bought one of those little 6-inch hedge trimmers that Rhonda recommended for using trimming trees out in the garden. I got to do that. Maybe do it today. But what I want to do, let me show you here. I watched a video on making gloves. And they said that you want something stretchy. And I want to make a pair of gloves out of this. This no longer fits me. Well, it probably would, but I thought it would be fun to make a, I washed this. This is just came out of the washer. I thought it would be fun to make a pair of gloves. Now they said you need a stretchy fabric, and this is a knit. I might have a little bit of an issue with it fraying, but I watched a video, and this is a pair of gloves I think came with either the drill or the... I have another use for this. I'm going to make my own handprint here, and that's what she did. And I think I'll use this pattern paper. And what you do is you spread your fingers, even if they're dirty, out as far as you can. Now I've got a little crooked finger on each side, but I'm still going to trace around it. You make your fingers as wide as you can, and you take a marker. Now I think she used a fabric marker when she marked her. I need one that's fairly... I'm looking for a pen plus gear here. Probably on the bottom of everything. Hold on. I've got enough scissors here. Here. Let me put these back. I need to put my awl back. All right. Okay. And you trace around your hands, and then you go again. Is that where I want it? Oh, let's do it on this side, because you keep your pattern. Let's do it. Let's do it where all these... Let's do it right in here. Right in here, I think. And then I'll put the other one over here. Maybe I'll move this over a little. Save that for paste a page or something. So you want to spread your fingers apart as much as you can. And then when you first do it, you go close to your hand. And I'm going to make my gloves long. I'm a few inches longer. So I'm tracing close to my hand first. And these gloves are not gusseted. I also watched a video that she made gusseted gloves, a little bit more complicated. And then she said to put a dot down there. We'll come back to that. Now, those of you who wear those long, fancy fingernails, you might want fingerless gloves. Now I'm going to come down. Oops, I might want to come up a little more higher. So there's my hand. Does it look like my hand? And then you take and you, now she said to make, I think she said an eighth. I think I'm going to go more like a fourth out. I don't have to go a half out. And she used her machine. I'm going to hand stitch mine. I think I would do better with a hand stitch. And I'm also going to compensate for my little bent finger here. I'm just going to follow the outline of my hand. Now the outside line is the cutting line. And I'm going to mark a dot in here like she did. She put a dot between each one of her fingers. Because you need to get, when you stitch this together, it should probably go down further. you want to stitch down in there, and then she cuts a little V in there when she stitches the two gloves together. And she showed all these, she said you use stretchy material. This needs to come out a little bit more. She said use stretchy material like t-shirt fabric, or some knits kind of unravel. I don't know how this sweater's going to be. I don't know how successful I'm going to be with this sweater. If it doesn't cut like I want, I've got another piece in here I can use. And this is a good way to use up old sweaters that maybe are out of shape or you don't wear anymore. Maybe a sweater that that you had, or t-shirt that has a logo or something on it that you like. Now this t-shirt that I'm wearing, the logo is, I'm wearing my t-shirt inside out because I don't like the logo. So it's nothing bad, I just not my thing. It's football stuff, and I'm not a football person. And somebody had asked me about it. I go, huh? It was, I got it from the company that I worked at. One of those company prizes for walking 10,000 steps a day. All right, then you cut this out and you flip it over for the other hand. You flip, hopefully I'll have enough room here, but I got another paper if I don't. So let's cut my hand out. Let's cut this first. And she had all these really pretty gloves that she made. Let's see if I can get to, I think it's on my other phone. I'll put the link in if I can find it. Should be in my history. That's mail. Where's my YouTube? Oh, I'm not in my channel. For those of you that are members of the live stream, I put out a Penelope emoji pincushion doll. I'm working on getting more emojis, but I test them on a white...
Come on in, I'd like to take you on a tour of my time.
I test them on a white background because on my other phone I have a dark background. I'm not used to this. Let's see, I want to switch accounts. I want to go to this person, and I want to go to my history, and let's see if I can find it here. Storms are coming. I have to get this up to my nose to here. Well, I got an ad. Hold on. Let me get out of the ad. Let me grab her link. The link to the channel. I mean, to the video. Hold on. Share. Copy link. Now, I don't like the white background, but I'm going to leave it white because I'm testing my emojis. And the emojis only work for members. The background of my... I only have the white background for YouTube. The background on my phone is still dark, but I need to go to... I need to back out to my channel. Let's get out of that. And I want to go to my channel, to my live stream, and to the chat. I'm going to drop a link. I'm just going to put gloves, and you can see the video that I watched to do this. Some of you may have made your own gloves, but I thought it would be a fun thing to try. And it didn't look like... I'm going to hand stitch mine. I'm not going to stitch mine on the machine. I could, but I'm just doing this for fun. Let me paste that in. Go there. And let's see. Her name is, well, Farrell Focus. I don't know if that's the name of her channel. Her channel name is Stephanie Farrell, Farrel, Stephanie Farrell Focus. And let's go back. I wanted to go back on this. I got out of the DIY, sew your own custom gloves. And she's explaining here how she made her gloves. So I don't want to dwell too much. I don't want to play her video without her permission, but I will share her link to what I'm doing. It's pretty easy. It's not hard to understand. She's really good at explaining what she did. And I think she made some gloves for her nieces. Somebody in her family. And I guess they really liked them. I'm hoping I have enough to flip this over with on this side, but I may not. Let's just cut. I want to cut this out to get rid of all the bulk here, and then I'll cut it better. I do that when I fussy cut. All right, now let's cut these out. And I'm going to leave this line here to remind me, do not cut. Do not sew. I'm going to put leave open to remind me not to sew my hand shut. I've got pretty big hands, pretty long fingers. Now I just want to trim this out. And she sewed it on the machine. I have a machine that I use for crafts, but I haven't had it out for a while. I'm just going to hand stitch mine for now to play with this stuff. Have any of you ever made your own gloves? Let me look at chat. Becky said 3 types of lettuce. Oh, did you plant? Hi, Becky girl. Let's see. Let's go up here to where. My suggestion as an alternative to gel pads, which are very expensive, is to rink up saran wrap, spill paint on it, and swish it around. Then you have several black and white papers to press on it. Yeah, that sounds cool. Let's see, we're talking about knee. Angie, oh, Angie had surgery today. I think she had surgery. She says she has her throat stretched. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about that procedure. I think it was for her throat. Let's see. Carol said she has surgery this morning. Yeah. I have tried gel printing, and I have a gel plate. I need to get it out and do it again. Let's see. You all have a nice day, Vanessa says. Hi, Brenda. Welcome in, Brenda. Elisa's here. Good morning, Miss Brenda. I haven't seen you for a while. Good morning. Brenda Ashford. All right. I think I'm caught up. Let's go back to Becky, where she came in and say good morning. That's a good suggestion, Light Star. I like that idea. Becky said, finally. I can finally sit down. Boy, I'll tell you, my heart goes out to you. I know. Now, not so much, well, yesterday we were gone, but it seemed like last week, and then I've been doing a lot of yard work, and I come in and I'm dirty and I'm tired and my bones hurt, but if I take a shower and relax for a while, I'm okay. You planted some oat seeds, and we will see if they grow. Good. I can't wait. Let's see what she says. 3 types of lettuce, radish. My brother's in there sneezing. 3 types of lettuce, radishes, Swiss chard, and salad burnet. I've never heard of salad burnet. I know. Hi, Stephanie. Welcome in. You love Stephanie. Oh, is that Stephanie? The Stephanie Farrell. Do you watch her? Let me get out of the ad. Hold on. Is it Stephanie Farrell? Let me go to her channel again. Well, I keep getting out of it. The ads. Stephanie Farrell. Becky knows her. Let me come back to my channel. Becky knows her. They stretch your esophagus. Oh, is that what they do? You had a neighbor that had done more than once. Yeah, I think Angie has had it done. You've watched her for years. Well, I just found her. Because, you know how I found her? I was looking for, because I thought I could do this. I thought, well, what if I just spread my hands out? And I thought, well, surely somebody has done this. And so I watched, she had a short. And so I went from her short to her video and watched her video of how to do this. Becky is a sewer. Becky is a quilter. Becky is a crocheter. Becky does art. Look, I can save this for my paste-a-page. So Becky knows her. She's watched her for years. But I thought she did an excellent video of showing how to make these. And I thought it could be done, but I needed a guide, and she was the right person to watch. Now I did watch one, and I was watching the short. I didn't go watch the video because I'd have thought it would be too hard for me to do, where they gusseted. They sewed a gusset in between, you know how the gloves, the gusset goes on the inside fingers here. They call these gussets. And you sew gussets in there. And I don't know if they gusseted the thumb. She probably did. I thought, oh, that's too hard for me. Let's do this long piece here. I'm leaving my little crooked finger in here. You probably don't need to do that, but it'll give me room. Becky planted potatoes the other day. She sowed oat seed today. I'm going to wait till after the weekend before I do any planting. But I'm going to take, last year, I couldn't remember when I was talking about it. I think I talked about it Friday night. Last year, I planted some Japanese indigo. And it's in little containers out on our west window. And I'm going to take that and put them in pots because I think it'll survive in pots. But it takes a while for it to germinate. And I planted it late, and it got really hot, you know, in July and August, September there. And I didn't want to put it outside. It would die. But it's growing quite significantly. But it's too big for those little containers that they're in. So I need to transplant that if I can. But Japanese indigo is good for dyeing. And I don't know if this will die or what. I think it needs to leaf out a little bit more. And I might have another packet of it someplace. So there's my hand for the left hand. Now you flip it over this way for the right hand. And this little finger is more crooked than this one. This one happened when I was a little girl. My mom told me, I don't remember it. I don't even remember the pain. She said I was crawling in a window. She had a stick bracing the window open. And I was crawling in the window, and evidently my hand bumped it and the window fell down. I don't know why it didn't get these fingers, but it caught my little finger. And she heard me crying, but she didn't realize that it broke my little finger, and it grew crooked. It grew crooked. It's been like that all my life. This one is crooked because I was probably in about 7th grade, and we were playing volleyball, and I don't have any pins in here. I'm just going to put a little tape on the bottom of this. Playing volleyball, and I hit it wrong. I hit the ball wrong, and it broke my finger, and it hurt. I remember it hurting, but I was too afraid to tell the coach because I didn't want him to take me out of the game. I didn't get to play much because I really wasn't that good, and I didn't want him to take me out, so I didn't say anything. I suffered the pain. Now I'll go put little pieces of tape on here when I draw around this. I suffered the pain. Now I will need 4 pieces, 2 for each hand. And I probably will not sew this online. I'll cut it out. And I've got plans. These came, I think these came with the drill. I got a drill. It might have came with the little hedge trimmer. But I got plans for these. I might do a member video, or maybe a member first video for those. But we'll do these because these are fun to do. And you can use these patterns over and over. She showed her very first pattern that she did. And of course, mine's better than hers, but I watched her. I learned from her. This is my very first one. But I learned because I watched her. But she had about 5 other patterns, and they all matched. She said, they match. So she must have gotten it down good. I'm putting tape on my fingernails so that when I put this down, it won't move around on me. Becky says she does sewing, gardening, and travel videos. Well, I subscribed to her. I just found her. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was the day before because we went shopping yesterday. Or we were gone yesterday. I'm going to have to go back next week and get my dirt. Gotta buy dirt. Okay, then I'm just going to take my pen. Now I'm tracing around the cutting line, not the sewing line. I could actually flip this one over. I don't really need to do this, do I, Becky? I don't think I need to do this. You need to do it on your fabric, not on paper. I don't need this. I'll leave the tape on there because what you do, I'll leave the tape on the back. You put it on your fabric and then you flip it over. I forgot. Becky's probably sitting there, what are you doing, Meri? You don't need to do that. You just flip it over. Ooh, look, it got into some blue paint. There was some blue paint up there. Yuck. Now you must not have got it all. On the edge. Ew, looks like it ran under my table. I don't mind it running under the table because it's just a foam board under this. And I need to get a new foam board anyway, but I just don't want it all over me. All over my fingers again. Hold on. You've watched her for years. They stretch your esophagus. I had a neighbor that had one done more than once. I can't imagine stretching your esophagus. What, does it get tight and then you can't swallow? Is that what happens? It tightens up and then you can't swallow. Yeah, I got my finger in that paint. That must be, is it painful? Oh, they probably did in the pain. That's where Angie is this morning. I was wondering. She said she had surgery. And you guys, today, those of you who didn't hear earlier, today is, I think it's Arlene's birthday. She's not in here. She doesn't really, your throat tightens and makes swallowing very difficult. Becky, do you have the link to your cancer? I got my check last week. I want to do a donation to your cancer project that you're doing. Do you have a link that you can put in here? I want to do a donation to your, I couldn't until the middle of the month. My check came in the day before yesterday. If you can drop a link, I'd appreciate it. And Becky, if you're around, if you're listening, you're having a swap. Is that something you're doing right now, or is that still in formation? I was watching your video. I think I commented on it where you were showing where you were cutting those 2x6 strips of fabric. Thank you, Becky. I want to join that swap if you're actually going to do a swap. I dropped out of a whole bunch of Facebook groups because I was getting overwhelmed. Sign up closes on Monday morning. Okay. I'm going to go out there and let me go here and grab the link. And let me put it in my notepad while I got it. I'll go to all notes. And we want to compose. And I'm just going to put cancer donation site. Dire. That was supposed to be site. S-I-T-E. And let me, come on. Let me paste this in while I have it. Oh. Can I go there? Let's go there on Becky's. I got redirect on this phone. This isn't available right now. When this happens, it's usually because the owner who shared it with a small group. Oh, is that your small group, Becky? I'm not a part of your group. Was that from your small group? Do you have a direct link to it? Carol said she's going to go get tea. Carol comes on after me this morning. I think it's 10 a.m. Mountain Time. She comes on after me. I get mixed up on her times. I'm leaving at 9 Central in about a half an hour. And then Carol comes on. Brenda says the stretching of the esophagus wasn't bad at all. When I swallowed small bits of food or drink, it would go in the lungs. Oh no, that's uncomfortable. All I needed after having it stretched was Cipicol lozenges with lidocaine. Well, that's good news. Becky says just a 2x6 brick piece of fabric. one to each participant, and be sure to wrap a piece of paper around it so it doesn't get caught in the machine. Oh, it's to your Facebook donation page. What is the name of it, your Facebook donation page? I'll go out to Facebook and join it. Is it just in your group? Is that in your group? I need to rejoin your group, Becky. I'll take care of that. If it's on a separate page, give me the name of the page. If it's just on your group, I'll go join your group. It's not a separate page. Okay. Is it in your group? Am I misunderstanding that? I want to be a part of it, and I want to be a part of your swap. Will you'll give us the names, if me just telling you here now, and then you'll send me a list of, because I've got plenty of that type of fabric from my slow stitch. I got an ad. Let me get out of the ad. Hold on. Where is this? About this app. Temu. Now I get a blank chat. No, it's a page set up for the cause. Aunt Beck's Creations. Let me go there. See if it'll redirect. I have trouble getting into it. It won't let me. It won't let me just. It won't let me in. I probably have to go to Facebook and join it. So I'll look for. I'll look for it in Facebook. I'll put Aunt Beck's. I'll put that. Let's see. I should be able to find it by. Well, did I get out of my notepad? It gave me a great big long link. And I don't like how my notepad puts all my links in blue. I can't read them. I'll go to YouTube. Well, I better copy this one. I'll find it, Becky. Let me copy this one. Let me get out of the notepad. It's driving me crazy. That stupid ad. Now I'm in my description box and a chat. If you can't get to it, you can friend and family me on PayPal. I'll do that. I'll do that, Becky. That will be easier for me. I don't participate very much on Facebook. I do a few groups. I left the tatting group too. I'm in, well, there's more than one tatting group. I'm in there. I'm not in their main group, but I'm in their tat and chat group because they're doing patterns. But I left a lot of Facebook groups, not because I was mad or anything. I was overwhelmed. And I don't do much on Facebook anymore. I read the post and I may share. But I'll PayPal you, Becky. That will be easier for me. But the thing is with PayPal, I can't do it. I can't even donate because I had to get a new bank card. Doggone it. And it's my PayPal links to my... I lost my bank card yesterday. I had to get a new one, and it doesn't come for 7 days, and this closes out on Monday. Doggone it, Becky. I don't carry credit cards anymore. So I'll have to do it another time. I'll join your fabric group if you mail me the participants whenever you get that organized. I was taking this off because I don't need another one. I'm sorry. I wanted to donate, but there's no way for me to get cash to you because I had to order a new card. And the same way with, I opened a small account down here in this town, Harvard. We have a bank in here. And when I opened the account, I told them I wanted a debit card. I never got it, and it's been over a month. And I called them, and they said, well, they sent it. And I had to order a new card there because it either never come or it got lost somehow. And I never got my, see, I can do the, well, this is for the right hand here. And this is for the left hand. I just have to flip it. All right. And I may not have enough pins in here. I'm going to see if I'll have to, Becky, I wanted to donate, but I don't have any way to get the money to you. My PayPal comes out of my bank account, but it uses my debit card to do that. But if anybody else in here, Becky's she's supporting the American Cancer Society, is that it? And if you donate, she'll send you I think she's crocheting hot pads. I don't know that part. I don't want to get into trouble here. I'm going to cut this sweater. I think I have enough. And it may be wonky. We'll see. But see, I've got the cuffs down here. So let's do this side. I need 4 pieces. So I think she cut hers two at a time, but I'm going to cut mine separately. And I'm just going to put the pattern down, and then I'll cut the piece out. And I want the cuff to come way down here. And down here. I might have to move it over a little. But you said you want it. Now this will stretch both ways. If you're using a fabric that only stretches one way, you want the stretch to go across your hand, not this way. You want the stretch there. I think I'm going to move this over a little bit more. And I got this sleeve, short sleeve there. I think I'll have enough out of this sweater. If I don't, and I'm thinking it would be fun to make a pair of gloves and put leather on the palm. I thought that would be fun. Now, I don't know if all these scissors cut fabric. We'll cut this. We'll see. And I'm just going to cut out first. And I don't know if this will ravel or not. Oh, it's going to cut it. I might poke through the holes here. I pulled this out of the machine this morning, so this is clean. And I'll have pieces for slow stitch. If so. I haven't watched last Monday's slow stitch. I'm kind of behind. I brought it in here to show you, but I'm not going to have time to do that because it's already after 8:30 and I want to get this done. I think this is going to be okay to stitch. I don't see it fraying too much. And I've got this pattern has folded over here. Let's cut that pattern off there. And I'm going to hand stitch mine. So it might be a little wonky, but I like wonky. Wonky's my style. And I think I'm going to keep this ribbed part. Let's cut it here. I think I'm good. I'm cutting right in there. All right, I'm going to keep this. It goes on up there, but that'll be a good tie or strap or something. And let's finish cutting across here. There. Now, get this off. Put it up there for now. Let's cut this out. And I think I have enough room for everything. Well, this is my, this little finger is more bent than that one, so it doesn't quite fit in there, but I can wear gloves, but it kind of, even gloves that I buy kind of bunch up in there. I might have to cut that on my right hand, cut this down a little bit more. And these are not fabric scissors, they're my crafty scissors, so keep that in mind. And there's no way that I could do two pieces here. I could put that on some fun slow stitch. We'll save it. Let's cut this. I may not get this all cut this morning. And I know I won't get it all stitched. Am I getting it? I think I am. I got just a little bit. I think it'll fit. It's kind of stretchy in there. I'm just gonna whack that off. Let's cut this rib off here. Well, I might have to compensate for that, stretch it a little. When I sew it, I might have to pull on it. I had a part of that ribbing on here. I didn't want the ribbing right at my thumbnail, but I think I can stretch it enough for it to fit. Did you guys used to wear lacy Easter gloves when you were a girl? Did they dress you up for Easter with patent leather shoes and white lacy gloves? I don't remember doing that every year, but I think we did do it a couple years. My mom would buy me some white gloves. I kept them for a long time, and I no longer have them. Now with this lacy fabric, it's a little bit hard to get. We'll see what, look at my hands. Oh, that's terrible. It's dry, but they are painty. It's a little bit hard to get in there, but we'll see what happens. I probably should have picked a t-shirt to do this from first. We'll see what happens here. It's hard to get a nice rounded finger. It's okay, but I can round it off when I stitch it, because this is the stitch line. And I think she traced her pattern on, she didn't cut around the paper. She traced her hand on her fabric, but that would be kind of hard to do with this knit. So who knows what I'll end up with here. I'm doing my best. I probably should have started with a t-shirt fabric. Not bad though. It's not bad. I'll have to round. I'm not going to round these off until I stitch it. I'll stitch it round when I stitch these together. That's not bad. I'm not on my live. That's not too bad. See, I can still, gets a little narrow in there. My thumb. Maybe I don't have my hand right. And it'll stretch when you put it on your hand. This is stretchy material. I think I'm pretty happy with that. However, I think what I'll do, let's set this aside. Let's set these in my scrap box. And this. And this. My scrap sack. Hello, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what you've been waiting for, sack. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I brought in a couple of other pieces here. The piece I really wanted to do did not dry good. I have another sweater, a blue one, and this is an old sweater. I used to wear it a lot. But look, wouldn't this be fun on the wrist? And I have this old pair of leggings, and I have this pair of sweatpants. But I also have a really cool pair of black knit, more of a t-shirt type. I'm going to take these, and I'm going to make them out of this first, because I think this will be kind of hard to handle. I'll come back to this one later. I think it'll make a cool pair of gloves, and I think I got it. But let's just cut these leggings. These are big leggings. I could make shorts out of them. I don't know if leggings make good shorts or not. They're yoga pants is what they are. They've got this big wide waist. I don't care for yoga pants. And they started stretching, and I put a safety pin in there, a big old dart. And I could fold this over like this, because they're yoga pants, and put a piece of elastic in there. But I'm going to cut them. I want to see how they work with being shorts. And these just came out of the wash this morning too, so they're all clean. But these are old ones. I wear them out in the garden. I'm going to cut them off right about, I've got plenty. I'm going to cut them off right about here, I think. That gives me, well, maybe a little lower. Because see if I can cut 4 pieces of fabric at once here. It'll be sloppy. And it'll be uneven. But they're old, and I don't care. And I think I will try to make a pair of shorts out of these. I think I can probably just roll this under. Do some, because I'll just wear them around home. And wear a long blouse with them or something. I don't know how long they'll be. I may not wear them outside. Whoops, I bumped you guys. I'm so sorry. But I can flip this. See, they're yoga pants, and I can flip the waist over and put a piece of elastic in there. So we'll deal with that later. I just wash these in the machine, and they tend to, the elastic tends to stretch. Let's see, I do think that I'll cut one at a time though. Well, I could try two, but when you try two, you put them face to face. I'm gonna cut one at a time, because I know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna cut down the seam here. We'll probably get one cut, but that's okay. I'll finish it tonight. I'll work on these tonight. This is Friday. I leave in about 15 minutes. And this is knit, so if you sew on the machine, you need a knit needle. I'm going to sew them by hand. We'll see how that works. And I guess let's cut down the seam here. I've got plenty. I think this will be easier to handle. I could be wrong, because it is a stretchy, and it stretches this way, and it'll stretch both ways. But not all fabrics have a stretch both ways. Some fabrics only stretch one way, and you want to put your stretch across the palm, she said, or across the width of your hand. You don't want to have it stretched lengthwise. Now, some people take t-shirts. I've never seen anybody take a pair of leggings and make yarn out of it, but some people will take and make t-shirt yarn out of old t-shirts. I think, oh, what's her name? You guys know her. My mind slips. Sharon Pratt, is that her name? Sharon. What is her channel? My head just went blank. I got an ad. I hope she reads that. Let's see what Becky is saying. Let me refresh my chat. I'm not on all messages. I don't know how to unhide it. Oh, did it happen again? Oh, wait. Not down at the bottom. Shannon, thank you. What is her channel? Art Junkie, yes. Thank you, Becky. She has made t-shirt yarn. And I think K3N has cut up t-shirts too. I don't have much luck doing it. Hi, Tush. Linda, Tush. They call her Tush. Hi, Carol. Oh, she said hi, Carol. Becky said, I hope she reads that. Let me go up here. Cut two that way, and then cut with the pattern face down. Oops. Well, I read it, but I read it too late. I could do that on the other legging. I'm safer just cutting one at a time, because I'm slow, and you're experienced with that. You know what you're doing. Mary's finding her way. If you can't get it, you can friend and family. Oh, okay, that we're talking about. Becky is doing, it closes Monday. Doggone it, I lost my, this is all dry now. I lost my debit card yesterday, and I had to reorder, so, and I don't carry credit cards anymore, so I can't contribute. I wanted to contribute to Becky's. I'm just going to do it one at a time, Becky, because I'm not as smart as you are. I'm not good with that stuff. I think this will fit my, of course it's harder now that it's not sewn together, but I think this is going to make a pretty, once I get it all stitched. Let's see, this goes there, this goes there, this one goes here, and then my little finger. I think this will make a pretty pair of gloves. You know, it's a good thing it stretches because I probably need a wider, I guess it'll stretch though. I guess maybe it's good that, see, I'm thinking I need more than 1/8 of an inch on the sides here. I might do this pattern again, and I'm gonna work on this one, but I think this needs to be wider to compensate for the width of my hand in here. We'll see what happens. If anything, I could use this in my art journal. We'll put it aside. I don't want it right now. I want to do this one. And because I already have the tape on this side, I'm just going to put it in here. And I think I'll make this one wider. I think I'll move this over. And when I cut this out, I can always snip off. But I can't put back on. Let's move this down a little. And I think at least in here and over here, I know this stretches, but I'm going to leave more than 1/8 of an inch on this. Does that look a little crooked to you? And I think I'll leave more than 1/8 of an inch all the way around to forgive my hands. I spilled my paint and my hands are messy. All right, I'm going to cut this one out and we'll see what happens. Let's see, Becky's giving me instructions. Yes, but if you do one at a time. No, it does not close Monday. The fabric closes Monday. Oh, the fabric swap. Then I have time. If I, when does it close? When does the cancer one close, Becky? Because I'll get my new debit card next Thursday or Friday, they said. So I might still be able to. Don't cut all the hands with the pattern right side up, or you won't be happy. Right, I understand that. I'm doing this side, and then I'll flip the pattern over, and do the other side. So a thumb will point that way, and a thumb will point that way. I got that. The fabric brick swap ends on Monday. Okay. You cut 2 with the pattern right side up and 2 with the pattern down. So you will have the reverses for that back side. Okay. I understand. I could probably cut 2, but since I'm not pinning this, I just have tape on it. I think I'll be better. And I think I'm going to leave a wider margin in here because I can always snip off if I need to. But I'm worried that, I know it does stretch. Let's take, where was this? See, if let's just say that this is the piece that I'm going to cut the other side out of. But let's just say that I cut right, this is the end of my pattern here. Well, I have all of this side of my arm to compensate for. I'm going to, because I can always snip off. I'm going to cut it bigger. She didn't, so I'm not an expert, but I know that I can always snip off. I can't, if it doesn't fit. I'm a little bit leery about leaving a 4/8. we'll see. Let's see. She says yes. Oh, I will have time. I will have time to donate. So I'll wait and see. I'll PayPal you when I get my debit card, Becky. Or we can talk about it later. I'm going to leave a good amount here. And like I said, I can always snip off if I don't need it. At least down here, down in here. Probably in there too. So, I'm just more comfortable. But since it stretches, I may not need it. But I can always adjust it when I stitch it. I might have to put my pattern back on it, but we'll see. I'm just leery of it. She says, okay. Yeah, I want to be a member of the swap. I have several pieces of fabric, probably more than I ever need. Now, I'm not so worried about it in here, but see, I've got all this width of my hands that my fingers aren't that wide. I think the stretch will, and I left a lot on this, but I'm not going to worry about leaving too much in here because I think the stretch, I got long, thin fingers. I think the stretch will take care of the finger part, but I'm worried about the wrist or the hand. Achoo! Achoo! Excuse me. Ah. Now the hand, yeah, I'm not worried about this part. I'll leave a little bit more than 1/8 though. And we'll see how this turns out. A little bit hard to cut knit. Because it's stretchy. And I'm cutting it a little wider, but not too much wider. And it folds over on itself here. We'll just do this one, and then I'll finish this up tonight. We'll work on this tonight. What time is it? Oh, and I'm about ready to leave. This clock is about 5 minutes fast, but it's already 9:01, so I'll finish this up tonight. Where's my, I put it over here. We'll make this my thumbnail. Hold on. We'll put the hands here. Make it my thumbnail. Hold on, let me. Becky, I'm at your channel now. This needs to be a little roundy for my thumbnail. Cut the square corners off. I might regret doing that later, but let's trim those fingernails there. Shall I flip it this way? I'm setting up my thumbnail. Carol comes on after me. Oh, I want this on the underneath because I'm not done cutting. No. That needs to be trimmed a little. Bear with me. I'm whining. Stop that whining. Oh, now I made a mess out of it. This may end up on a journal page. I like it though. On my fingers, I think it'll still fit my fingers, but yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm cutting the... Meri, you need to come out and say goodbye. All right, we'll leave it like that. I'm going to take a thumbnail, something I'll probably play with it before I snap the camera. All right, let me come out to chat here and say goodbye. Bye, Becky. Have a great Friday. Carol says goodbye. Carol is on next. She dropped a link to her channel. Whoops. Ads. Have a good day, Becky says. Cut all the hands with the pattern right side up, or you won't be happy. Oh, you turned the fabric wrong side. I'll have to figure it out. I'm never happy. I always get myself in messes. Becky's an experience, so I think I greeted everybody. If I missed you in chat, I want to thank you guys for coming in and spending a part of your Friday morning with me. I do appreciate it. And if I don't see you tonight, have a great, great weekend. I will be on again tonight, and I'll be on again Sunday night. So bye, everybody. Have a great day. Bye. My hands are waving. Bye.